Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the last pod of the GFC semifinals. I'm Teddy. I'm your host. I'm here with my co-host, Animated Jay. Um, Once again, joined by Lust and Trump handling the concept side, and Starlight assisting me in handling the traits side of the scorecard. And for our guest judge today, we have one of the members of the Electobots. This guy has been featured on America's Got Talent, World of Dance, and in millions and millions of views on countless viral videos. Ladies and gentlemen, Pheonix Banuelos, how you doing, man?
Good, awesome. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you being here, man. We are excited to share something very unique with you. I don't know how much your experience with gloving or how much your experience is with it, but oh, perfect. Yes. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect.
Yeah, I'm
So
excited.
as I explained earlier, but just for anybody watching at home, you have the 1.5 wild card points to bestow to any one of the 3 glovers that you feel won this battle based on your own criteria. We have our criteria and our scorecard. You have your own reason. Like this is the show that I like best. This is the one that I want to move on. And those 1.5 points may be consequential or they may not be, but they are yours to give and someone else's to earn. So even if they don't win the match, they still may earn your points. So are you ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at Euphoric.
You're too late, begging on the floor for me. I'm not the same. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. I'm taking back my life. All you did was use it. You break it, you lose it. Sorry, your time is up. Now I'm coming back to life. I'm taking back my love. Sorry, your time is up. Now I'm coming back to life. Now I'm coming back to life.
That was Euphoric.
Sick.
Animated J.
Yeah, man. I feel like a lot of what we've been talking about is this essence. Like this having this gloving essence. Like you can do wild stuff with your fingers and angles, but it's like keeping that vibe with your show. And this was like a perfect example. Like even the colors again, like they were changing while he's moving. And like, how long can someone tell me when did that come into gloving? The changing lights
The
and
motion reaction.
Oh,
yeah.
accelerometers.
2015.
2015. So look, like even that, like that something which is specifically in gloving, right? The chips. Now people are adapting to that. So this glover, this guy, like again, just really brought that essence and was just wild. So I enjoyed that. Let's give it to Teddy. What'd you feel about this performance? From beginning, middle, end?
I definitely feel like I was performed for with this show. I absolutely feel the show aspect. Delivery was on point. Showmanship was on point. I want to highlight something specific. And I press this a lot with my students, and pretty much I don't care what the course topic is, I'm gonna cover this. Shoulders. Like when you consciously relax your shoulders first and then figure out your movement, you have so much more capability, and you can tell that he does that. You can tell that he does that. He really just opens that up, and it really just allows you to like get into like positions that normally would feel awkward, but they just don't, because you can again relax the shoulder and like get that nice sink, and you can get those like crazy those crazy whips around, or even like for tutting angles too, like all the behind the head stuff, like all that, it all comes in the shoulders, and you can just tell that he is very aware of that. So just kudos to Euphoric for that specifically, 100%.
Okay, that's in the shoulders. But what about the wrists? Trump, what do you think about his wrists?
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna play the devil's advocate here and say that the first half of his show, his technical part of the show, was kind of incoherent, in my opinion. Um, didn't quite make sense to me, and I feel like I'm a pretty good person to judge on technicality. Um, I could kind of see what he was going for with it, I suppose. And it wasn't like it was sloppy, it was just incoherent movements to me. I don't know.
Unstructured.
Yeah, unstructured for sure. Maybe that's a better word for it. Y'all were looking at me funny. I know I'm not. But aside from that, I mean, he really redeemed himself with, his more dance influenced movement, which you don't see a lot in gloving. Um, so that was nice to see. Great liquid, super unique. Whips on point as always, and his musicality was not overwhelming, but it was obviously there. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. To be completely honest, this is the first one that I've not been super blown away by. So we'll see how I score this one. I'll hand it back over to you, Jay.
Okay, I'm gonna hand it back to Lust. So Lust, your partner here, Trump, said he wasn't that impressed. So I know you're looking at the same criteria as well.
Mhm.
Any similar thoughts, differences?
I definitely did feel a little disconnect at the beginning of his show. I felt like it was Trump didn't mention this, but there are kind of slight moments of hesitation that looked unclean as well. Like just a couple points that weren't squeaky clean, basically. I mean, this is round 3, so we're nitpicking at this point, right? Round four. This is round 4. But as Trump said, I mean, he definitely gained some use of space points from me when he was doing that liquid and like drawing it across his body, and you could just see like the trails going across his body, doing those full body movements with liquid. I mean, we honestly don't get to see that too much out of these competition light shows, so it's really fun to see. But I will say it wasn't the most complex show, and I think he probably had better luck on the other side of the scorecard. Just seemed like he was focused more on his presence than throwing out really dexterous or really difficult concepts.
Okay. Similar. I see some similarities between our two judges. Let's switch it back to the other side of the scorecard, the showmanship aspect of it. Starlight, I do want to mention musicality. It seems to be the thing we've been talking about a lot. But what were your thoughts? You don't have to speak specifically on musicality, but more of what were you looking at?
Well, what I really want to follow up with is what Les just said about how the show seemed to be a lot more showmanship or stage presence focused. And Euphoric is kind of a Glover known for creating characters. He's often creating personas and characters in his light shows that don't need words, they don't need captions, they don't even need props, or half the time even costumes. So I saw a lot of that really oozing out from under him, and his musicality does tie into it, but his musicality was good. It's just there's a lot more that could have been there. I felt like there was so much emphasis on his energy that he could have taken some of that and emphasized it a bit more in his musicality. You know, there was like this disconnect with the energy that was happening there. At least that's kind of what I see and what I think I see Trump and Lust pointing out.
Gotcha.
Well, let's hear from our guest judge. Was that the first time you've seen it, or not the first time you've seen a light show? But
Yeah, I think that was probably the first time I've seen one with so much, I don't know, specific ideas and skill sets applied to it. And hearing you guys all talk about it just shows me how much I don't understand fully about the light game, and how much I love that I'm getting exposed to all this. Yeah, for me, I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was I really appreciated the physical movement. I didn't, I guess, expect to see so much of some of those things that you guys were mentioning, with him really using his whole range of arm and shoulder and kind of dancing through it, which I thought was really cool to see. I did really like the idea with like the changing colors and stuff, and the blue and red I felt like was a really cool match. Yeah, I enjoyed what I saw. I definitely thought that I could see what you guys are saying about maybe having more musicality tying everything through with the ideas, you know what I mean? But for me, I honestly just thought that it was a really cool performance. I'm still pretty new to this whole scene, so just seeing what kind of ideas were being played with, I was really enjoying that,
awesome. Well, I'm happy to keep spoiling your standard of light show, so that when you go get light shows from anyone, you can be like, wait a minute, no, hold on.
Yeah.
I was in the GFC here. Hold on a second. We need to work on this. We need to level this up a little. But anyway, that's what we're here for. That's what You Got Moves does. We level you guys up. So, well, on that note, Euphoric is going to be here with a total of 55 points. Cleanliness, use of space, and concepts: 3.5, 4, and 6 from Lust. 3.5, 4, and 6.5 from Trump. On the traits side, delivery, showmanship, and musicality, 4, 4, and 6.5 from Starlight. From myself, 3, 4, and 6, respectively. Delivery, showmanship, and musicality. So tough standard. I see like the semifinal score standard that's happening, and I kind of like it. It's, if we were to equate it back, it's about a 25 to 30-ish on a single card. So I feel like we're being harsh enough for these scores, which is good. But let's move on.
Harsh but consistent.
Exactly, harsh but consistent. Let's move on and take a look at Creepa.
Me bleeding on the floor for you, but I felt free the second that you left the room. I'm taking back my life. All you did was use it. You break it, you lose it. Sorry, your time is up. Now I'm coming back to life. I'm taking back my life. Sorry, your time is up. Now I'm coming back to life. Now I'm coming back to life.
That was Creepa. Animated J. Um, yeah, that's that. Over to you.
That was dope. That was like a Rubik's cube, just like moving around, shifting positions, and just like levers and things are connected and a domino affecting. Um, that was clean. Like I was just clean. Like it was nice. It was interesting the momentum that Creepa has, like the just the flow. It's different from the some a lot of the other Glovers we've been seeing. It's interesting. It's just there's something interesting. I can't put my like thumb on it on what is it, but there's something that's just something different. But I enjoyed that, and maybe Lust, maybe you can help me out. Is what do you think that's the thing that might be? I don't know.
Um, well, I think my favorite part of this show is his use of space. And, uh, you know, many people have different terminologies for use of space, and they think like, oh, if I throw tutting back here, then like I'll get a high use of space score because I did moves up close and far away. That's what I really look for is purpose and placement, right? So you'll see he starts so close to the camera in this position, filling it up. And then when he moves to something else that needs more space, he moves backwards. And then he presents it up close again, filling the camera and then moving backwards. Really, having a lot of purpose in how he presents. And I'm sure our traits judges will get into the delivery of his moves. But that's something that I definitely noticed that really captivated me is everything seemed really purposeful in where it was placed. So love that use of space.
Okay. Use of space doesn't have to be going big and small and all this extra. Just pulling back, keeping it simple and clean. Hmm. I see. Starlight, you're nodding, you're agreeing with this. I know you again, you're not the technical side of this, but well, what do you see here going on?
Well, kind of to piggyback off of what Les just said in the terms of the delivery and the showmanship of this, that just like in use of space, how we are judging how you use your space, not how much space you are using. With delivery and showmanship, you don't have to throw power moves and be razzle dazzle and be super like performancy to score highly in showmanship and delivery. It's about the confidence of your motions, about how comfortable you look while you're doing them, and kind of the implied why of why you're going where you're going. So I just have to agree with Lust on that I'm seeing it on my side of the card as well, that you don't have to go over the top to hit what you need to if you're doing it well.
Okay. Now throwing it. Oh, Teddy, yeah.
Oh, okay. I just want to chime in real quick. I only have one thing to say about this show, and it's the fact that I think the intention of every single frame of this minute 47-second show, every single frame had enough intention to drive the delivery and showmanship scores off the roof. Like everything was intentional. You saw it start to finish. But I couldn't tell where the start and finish was. Like his transitions were clean. I don't know where his concepts ended or started. Like just A1. I'm done. That's it. I'm done with this one. That's ridiculous.
Let's
Yeah, just
Okay. Well, I mean,
This show
Trump.
was awesome.
Since such positive feedback I'm hearing about this show, Trump, I'm gonna need you to, you know, uh, tear it down. So, what do you got? Something to say? No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna air it up, Jay. The originality on this one is insane. I remember years ago labbing, the most basic clusters with Dylan, and to see what he's done with it now, he's truly the one of the most original guys there is right now, coming out with the new stuff right now. Um, that was awesome to watch, and exactly like everybody else has said, the intention was there. um every single movement, nothing was wasted at all.
Mm.
I could just go on about pretty much what everybody else has said. Whatever he did there was good. I actually
Well,
want to hear Phoenix's.
When the just real fast, I think what I'm coming to in terms of like why we're not really tearing down certain elements of the show is if I were to demand certain discrepancies out of this, it would no longer look like this show. You
Yeah.
know, like what we could say certain things all day long about this in terms of like what the scorecard is begging, you know, like, oh, you need to hit this more, but then it wouldn't become what we just saw.
It
That was
is
so
what it is.
pure. Yeah, so pure to itself. So,
Mhm.
you know, I think I'll let the scorecard speak for this one and not it was so beautifully done.
Phoenix, you're chomping at the bit right now.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. That was crazy to watch. Like I said, I am not as well versed in this world. So the first one, I thought, wow, there's a lot of concepts that's cooler than a lot of the light shows that I've seen. But this one definitely made me realize like there's a lot of levels to the concepts that you could do with these gloves, you know. Yeah, I think the same thing as everyone else. Like, I think everything was so deliberate, and his use of depth was so deliberate as well that I think that really also highlighted his choices in the whole round. Yeah, the concepts were nuts. Like this whole area where everything was like just bouncing off and hitting each other like in these fingers, like was really, really satisfying to watch. And it made more sense now what that flow that you guys were, I think, looking for, talking about within that other round as well. Like, you know, for me, I was like, oh, that flow felt good. The concepts are cool, but then I'm really realizing the depth of the concepts and how crazy the stuff can get. So I think that was a great example of some crazy stuff, in my opinion, so far. But
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, Teddy, the scores.
Crazy indeed. I'd like to present the highest scoring light show so far of round 4 with a 66.5 overall. 4.5,
Wow.
4.5, and 7.5 from Lust. 5, 3.5, and 8.5 from Trump, cleanliness, use of space, and difficulty of concepts, respectively. From Starlight, 4.5, 4.5, and 7.5 for delivery, showmanship, and musicality. And for myself, 4.5, 4, and 8, delivery, showmanship, and musicality. So high standards set. Good thing we have a high standard light show remaining. It is time to take a look at the last light show of round 4. Ladies and gentlemen, Mega Sloth.
You want me bleeding on the floor for you, but I felt free the second that you left the room. I'm taking back my life. All you did was use it. You break it, you lose it. Sorry, your time is up. Now I'm coming back to life. I'm taking back my life. Sorry, your time is up. Now I'm coming back to life. Now I'm coming back to life. You're too late, the floor for me.
Wow, that's crazy.
Ooh.
Animated J.
They put
He's
some effort in
different.
there.
I like it. I like him. I like his, because again, it's tutting and there's, all the styles that we've been seeing, through gloving, all these competitors, but the way he connects them together and just like that, I love that beginning as well. Like again, that showmanship in the beginning was really cool. It's just controlling other parts of himself. Yeah, that was. This is a Glover. I'm going to kind of just let you guys share what you felt. What was highlighted for you? Because I know there was a lot going on here. So I'm gonna pass it to Starlight.
So you're gonna say, well, where do we even begin? We have been tasked with dissecting a Mega Sloth show, which, due to how readable his light shows are, that is easy to do, but it's not easy to do within a reasonable time constraint of just there.
I need a
there's
week.
we need like 4 round tables to truly break down the layered complexity of what just happened here. And this is a phenomenal example of a Glover that understands that complexity is simplicity stacked on top of simplicity. There are strong foundations that are simple within a variety of concept areas that, when linked together properly, produce this. I that I we can take time to nitpick little things, but I think it's more important for our audience to kind of understand just how unique this light show is and always has been. So, and I know, Lust, you've seen your fair share of unique light shows. What do you have to say about Mega Sloth in that regard?
I mean, honestly, I was pretty blown away by this show. Typically, we kind of had a little bit of a discussion about how Mega Sloth does reuse some, concepts and some sequences, but I really felt that he put a lot into this show. His lever work where he uses like both hands on either side to like come down. Whether he's doing his like flail tut and then like he just like kept going with one of them, and I was like, he's constantly expanding off things we're familiar with from him, so it just kind of pushes everything to the next level. Super clean, great use of space. I kind of want to hear what Trump thinks of this Mega Sloth show.
All right, Corey. I saw some mistakes. Wasn't the cleanest show I've seen from you, buddy. I love you a ton. Honestly, the confidence in this one overrode any slight cleanliness errors, though. Homie didn't care. He knew that everything else that he was throwing was basically just power moves. Back to back heavy hitters. And like Lust said, and he really showed it in this one, he is really is expanding off of what he's already been doing, which is already, bro, I can't do that crap. Like he's already expanding on things that are already above most people, if not all. So it's really cool to see what he does with it. Might lose a little bit of cleanliness, but I mean, you kind of powered through them and had the confidence to make those mistakes and kind of take the hit because he made up for it in other areas, as far as the complexity, and just the way that he did his moves was really cool to watch. I want to see how I judge this one. But I mean, overall, definitely can see the effort and one of the best shows that he's put out lately.
Okay, let's pass it to Teddy. Thoughts?
This show was almost a perfect light show. I don't say that a lot. There was one small like second or so in the beginning where the musicality was off and I got disconnected. But other than that, everything fit. Everything fit where it was. Everything was. My brain was broken enough to not understand things, but also like I still feel like I digested everything. I don't know. I know it's an oxymoron, but I feel like I still digested all the crazy complex stuff. Trump Mary pointed out the levers, and all the steps, the isolations. Everything was just everything was delivered well. But I would love to hear from Pheonix on this. What do you think of Mega Sloth's light show?
All right. Man, it was crazy. It was really cool to see the different styles between these people. Yeah, I think there was a couple points that I saw in his show that I liked a lot. One, I thought he did really well with the confidence thing, as you guys mentioned as well, with like, I felt like it was more of a battle from him, seeing his like the way that he kind of like called them out in the beginning and kind of like set it up. I also felt like the pacing of his complex ideas was so nice that it really for me felt like a crescendo. Like it felt like he took his time and he had his pacing and he had that confidence to know like he doesn't have to burn out right away. He can like build something up, make it feel very satisfying as it builds, which is something I think in the dance world that I usually notice as a sign of experience. So these really experienced movers, they're able to not only give you all the crazy blow ups and all the satisfaction moments that you're looking for, but they can give it to you in this beautiful story, this beautiful crescendo that just like keeps you excited, more and more excited as it goes along, and I feel like I saw that in his round. I feel like I could see the experience of it a little bit, and that I think was really, really dope to watch. Yeah, it was awesome. Definitely really cool set.
But before we release Mega Sloth Stories while Lust and Trump complete the rest of theirs, Pheonix, you have now seen all 3 light shows for this pod. You have 1.5 wildcard points to bestow upon who you feel delivered the most, or who you feel performed the most, or who you feel won this battle. Okay. So, without further ado, who gets your wildcard points and why?
I have a question real quick, just to clarify. Yes. These points, right? It's just like I pick one person that gets all of these points, or is it like you can?
No, you get one person gets all 1.5 points.
Got you.
Actually, okay.
I thought about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm like, you know what? Actually, no one has asked that so far. So I will. If you'd like, you can bestow 1 to someone and 1/2 to another.
Perfect. Okay. So what I saw, I think, for me, I think, and this probably comes with a little bit of my experience with gloving specifically, I thought that the second show that we watched had a lot of originality. Yeah, I felt like his originality in his concepts, like all of this area of these like touching, connecting concepts were so satisfying to me, and I hadn't seen anything like that, to where I would give my 1 point to him, and then I would give the 0.5 to the last show that we just watched, because I think that he's obviously nuts, insane. But I think as far as just for me, that sleeper card point, the main point for me went to the other guy, because I think he's really just showed me stuff that I personally have never seen. I never saw any of those types of concepts that he was doing. And as intense and as like obviously skilled as the last set was, it resembled stuff that I could recognize a little bit more than the second set for me. So that's why I gave the second set the point, and I want to give the other part of that point to the third guy, because I think that he was obviously nuts, and I think that he's gonna be fine with those points and do really well anyway. So, but yeah, that's where I feel on that.
Well, Pheonix, I know you said you think he'd be fine. Here's how this broke down. Okay. Mega Sloth comes in at 67 points even before your points are given out. 4.5, 4, and 8.5 from Lust. 4.5, 3.5, and 7.5 from Trump. From Starlight, 4.5, 5, and 8 for delivery, showmanship, and musicality. And for me, 4.5, 4.5, and 8, bringing his grand total to 67. Now, when I add your 0.5 point to him, he gets up to 67.5. And when I give Creepa your 1 point, he's also at 67.5.
Uh-oh, tie.
Now,
Oh,
initially, your points are supposed to be the tiebreaker, so whoever gets your points wins. But you gave both people points. So now I ask you one more time. You decide who moves on to the semifinals. Straight up, just point to the winner. Creepa, the second show you watched, or Megasloth, the third show you watched. Take your time. Feel free to justify it if you want to, talk out the thoughts and out loud. Go ahead, but floor is yours. Take your time.
I'm gonna give the victory is gonna go to Megasloth today, because I did what I was really struck by the originality of Creepa's set, but I do feel like if I were looking at just battle per battle today, I feel like Megasloth showed a lot of range and showed a lot of different things and multiple ideas. Where what struck me about Creepa's set was the one kind of cluster of concepts, you know what I mean? And I was really impressed by that, but I think Megasloth gave a more well-rounded show today, and I think that would probably win the battle in my opinion. So,
all right. Well, an absolute nail biter of a finish. I'm thoroughly enthused. This is absolutely amazing. Megasloth moving on. We have Megasloth versus JPEG versus Geometric in the finals.
Wow.
It's going to be amazing. Pheonix, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you had a blast.
Oh yeah, so much fun,
amazing.
man. Thank you guys so much for letting me be a part of it. It's really awesome to see what you guys are doing, and especially be able to see it at such a high level. Like getting exposed to this scene is amazing, but on top of that, knowing that I'm able to watch some of the best to do it, and then also speak to some of the best to do it, and hear your guys' thoughts on it is really great experience for me. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate it. We hope to see you back. We'll definitely be doing more stuff like this, and we'd love to have you back again.
All right, definitely.
Lust,
I'm gonna go buy some
Trump.
gloves right now.
Bro, you ain't gotta buy no. We'll get you some gloves sent, man. No problem. You're talking to the right people. We got you, bro.
Chat suddenly
100%.
starts getting spammed with discount codes. Chat
Yeah,
starts
we're
like,
good,
"Oh."
bro. We're good.
Honestly, you could hit me up on Instagram and I'll send you gloves.
Oh, that'd be sick, man. I love what you guys do, man. It'd be awesome to play with it.
Yeah, man. Well, we got all the tools for you, so we'll get you sorted. Again, thank you to Lust, Trump, and Starlight, and to Animated J, our host for the day. Thank you so much for all being here. We'll see you guys in the finals.
See ya. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.